Japan,
Italy,
France,
Casa De Mañana Retirement Community, a world by the sea.
Cape Cod,
Chicago,
A world-class location overlooking the Pacific. The art and culture of La Jolla Village just outside your door.
La Jolla, my home.
Casa De Mañana. Full-service retirement living on the La Jolla coast with the ease of a monthly fee.
Today we have three guests from the Casa De Mañana Front Porch community in La Jolla. We have Justin Weber, who's the executive director. Welcome.
Thank you.
We have Ken Suarez, who is a resident at Casa De Mañana. And we have Kelly Hillegeist, who is the life enrichment director at Casa De Mañana. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for coming in from beautiful La Jolla. I know the sun is out and the surf's up, and it's a beautiful place and beautiful weather that we've had in San Diego, so thank you for coming today. Justin, let's start with you. Tell us about life enrichment at Front Porch. What does that mean, and how are you trying to make that part of the organizational culture within the world of Front Porch?
Yeah, well, traditionally, when you think of senior communities, if you hopped on the bus right now and I told somebody I worked at a senior community and some of the things that we do for seniors, they'd say, oh, you play bingo, you do activities. And activities, that name in itself, I think, kind of said, what are we trying to do for people? Are we showing people entertainment? Are we having these docile individuals come and we entertain them? No, what we really do is we are enriching people's lives, and so we made a conscious culture shift to call it life enrichment. And what life enrichment is that we're touching people in a variety of ways, physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, vocationally, and trying to plan events, programs that will match those people's needs, because really all of those things are what make us us. I mean, we always want to continue to learn. We always want to continue to have fun. We want to continue to do the things that stimulate us. And so as Kelly plans her calendar for the month, she's talking to Ken, she's talking to the other residents saying, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? And then trying to keep all those different things in mind to make sure that we're matching all those different aspects to the programs that we're providing.
That's great.
So a lot of time goes into, obviously, coming up with the programs and getting the residents engaged. And so how do you get them engaged, and what kinds of programs do you offer? Can you give us some examples so we can, instead of just generally, like what specifically you might?
I'll let them talk more specifics, but as far as how we get residents engaged is we're open to conversation all the time, making sure that we are available and open and having those discussions of what do you want to do, and did this work? Did this, we went to the races last month or whatever it happened to be. Did you have fun? Do you want to do that again? Did we have a good crowd? Did everybody enjoy themselves? So I think a lot of it's just the people part of it, of making sure that we're open to those conversations. And there's a lot of planning that goes into it. Obviously, there's logistics and transportation and tickets to a lot of these things, and bringing a lecturer in, that person's got to be available and ready and all those types of things. So a lot of the planning aspect of it is big. Talk specifics, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly, give us some examples of programs out the community.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of it is a matter of trying to touch on as many of those dimensions of well-being that Justin mentioned, and it really starts with knowing the residents on an individual level, but also on a community level, and listening, really listening. And we have a lot of residents who are pet lovers and pet owners, and their pets are their children. And so catering to that group of residents while still considering the larger community. One of our popular events right now is our Yappy Hour, our
great
doggy play dates. And it brings residents who are dog owners, but it also brings residents who had dogs in the past or just want a social gathering, and they come and we have dog treats and toys and food and beverage, and everyone gets together and boasts about their little ones. A great relationship we've had for several years now is with the EC Language School, and they have a location right up the hill from Casa De Mañana in La Jolla, a block away. And those students come down for a variety of programs. They will be hosts with residents at dinner time and have meals with them and converse about the country that they're from and life experiences and practice their language skills. And they come over for presentations and they'll talk to our residents and share on the countries that they're from,
that's
and
neat.
there's question and answer and that interactive component.
Wow, that makes dinner exciting as opposed to just having a meal. That's
Yeah.
educational and inspiring as well. That'd be fantastic.
And then our main and newest partnership that we're really fostering is with UC San Diego, and they are creating an intergenerational club from this relationship that we've forged at Casa De Mañana. And Ken here, he is one of our very active residents who's involved in the two main programs that we have currently, though there's a lot, you know, in the future to come, which is intergenerational walking group and our roundtable discussion groups.
Ken, how did you come to choose Casa?
Well, we're fortunate that mother-in-law lives at she lives at a retirement community in San Francisco, and she encouraged us to look into it and to move in soon while you have enough energy, mental and physical, to enjoy the activities. Talk about life enrichment. Our life has improved 100%. We feel better. There's a sense of well-being. We're cared for. You know, you start out doing the right thing for the wrong reason, right? Because our motivation, very basic motivation, is no cooking, no cleaning, no yard work, no hassling with contractors to fix the roof.
Been there, done that, right?
Yeah, but you come here and you join a community of like minds. Actually, there are enough of us there that are going to find kindred spirits, and we have, and we did right away. It's a very supportive atmosphere there. As far as Casa de Mañana, well, we love the ocean. And we were familiar with the front porch community because we have a relative that lived in Santa Barbara at Vista del Monte. Also, Robin's great aunt and uncle lived at Wesley Palms until they moved on, passed on. So we were familiar with front porch. I had a good impression.
And was it really your mother-in-law that kind of pushed you to make that decision? Because everybody always says, you know, I'm going to stay in my own home till they take me out in the pine box.
We were in our home. We bought it. We fixed it. We loved it. We fixed it to grow old together in the house until what used to be fun gardening. I used to enjoy climbing a tree with a pole saw. I thought, yeah, macho man. I almost fell out of the tree once. And then it became a chore, and we hired a gardener. Then I thought, well, let's just garden. It was time. And mother-in-law encouraged us, go early. And she's right. Our fellow residents always say, you know, I wish I had come early, especially the new widowers who say, you know what, I wish I could have come here with my husband and enjoyed five more years.
So your mother-in-law is a very wise woman.
Oh, absolutely. She is, and she's one of my best friends, you know. Type of person you can disagree with, she won't be disagreeable.
We agree to disagree.
Yeah. So as far as Casa de Mañana, my wife, she's a researcher. So she wants to Department of Health Services, control this industry. They sent us a huge list, so we narrowed it down to 16 by the ocean, then narrowed down to 5. We visited 5. Fell in love with Casa.
It's easy to do.
Exactly.
Very easy to do.
Every time I bring tourists to San Diego and we go by there, I'm going, this is where I'm hanging out in a few years, maybe sooner than later.
Exactly.
So tell us about the intergenerational program. I know you're very active in that. Tell us more about that.
Well, you know, it's about having discussions. Love to have discussions.
That's what it is, yeah.
And it's about sharing different perspectives about life with people at a different stage of life. These young, intelligent people from the university, well, first of all, they're very interesting, and they have this natural energy that's contagious. Yeah. When you work, you have a variety of generations, and there's more diversity in any way of diversity. But then you retire, and everybody you know is retired in your same age. And talking to young people again is refreshing. Well, I'm enjoying it, and it has a revitalizing. It gives you more mental energy, more intellectual curiosity. I'm enjoying it. It's an opportunity to interact with young people. These young people have vibrant minds. They're intelligent young people from the university. They have a high intellectual level. It's a pleasure to talk with them. they have different perspectives about life. They're going through a different world, essentially, than we did. And we exchange points of view. For example, the younger women who we've been encouraging to accomplish and join the ranks of executives and take charge of all aspects of society, economic, political. Well, some of them don't want to have children, and at first, at my age, I thought, well, gee, why would she want to have a child? Well, we've been encouraging to succeed in business, let's say, or be an executive someplace. Well, that executive, and I'm sure you will agree, they have a wife at home who helps them become. My wife ironed my shirt. You know, so I can see where a young executive on his way up, he doesn't have time to do all those things, and if he had all the responsibilities of keeping a home, he couldn't succeed. And so we came to understand that if they're going to succeed in business, to use that term, then they need to dedicate themselves fully to that endeavor. Among other things, but that was an eye-opener.
Justin, I'd like you to answer the question in terms of you as the executive director who handle an amazing group of employees and associates and amazing residents from all walks of life. What message would you like to get across to the audience?
Well, so we obviously have this beautiful location. We're sitting on this amazing part of the coast of California, right in La Jolla. And so people think, oh, everything's utopia there. It's the people, though. It's the community that make Casa De Mañana fun to come to work to. It's the people that allow us to have an opportunity to feel their joy, to feel their pain. I mean, it's a little world into itself. And, as we talk about life enrichment, it's really, what do you all want to do and how can we make this better for you? We've got 230 plus residents. We've got 137 staff members today. We've got all kinds of visitors and families that come in between. And so our world, there's a lot going on. And so it's my job to make sure that our systems are working well, that the buildings, that the salt air is not pounding the buildings too bad, and that we're keeping all those things up. But really, that the residents can have as much choice and opportunity to do the things that they want to do as possible. And so us setting them up in those ways is what's most important to me. And whether that be, outings that we're going on, the food that we eat, the people that we're bringing in, there's a lot going on. And so making sure that their choice and their voice is heard is probably the thing that's most important to me.
That's a great mission, and I know you're all passionate about it. Yeah. We want to thank you all for coming on. Kelly, thank you. Ken, thank you. And just keep doing what you're doing, and it's a pleasure to meet you, and you're going to just have a wonderful quality of life at Casa De Mañana.
Thank you for having me.
And Justin, thank you for sharing these people with us, and we really appreciate you coming on the show today. So stay tuned. We will be right back with more Senior Stay or Go TV.
Japan, Italy, France,
Casa De Mañana Retirement Community, a world by the sea.
Cape Cod,
Chicago,
A world-class location overlooking the Pacific. The art and culture of La Jolla Village just outside your door.
La Jolla, my home.
Casa De Mañana. Full-service retirement living on the La Jolla coast with the ease of a monthly fee.